Good evening, everyone. Please be seated. My name is Robin Fox, and I'm the Interim Provost and Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs. As we gather for commencement, we acknowledge that the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater exists today on the traditional lands of many diverse Native people, including Ho-Chunk, Potawatomi, Ojibwe, and Odawa. We welcome and are honored by the responsibility to be good stewards of those lands and good neighbors to all Wisconsin Indigenous populations. We recognize these great Native nations and their respective sovereignties and are thankful to be positioned in such prominent, historic, and meaningful landscapes as we continue to provide educational opportunities for all.
Good evening, and welcome to the 2025 Commencement Ceremony for UW-Whitewater at Rock County. I'm Tricia Clayson, Assistant Vice Chancellor and Dean of the College of Integrated Studies here at URock, and on behalf of everybody in the UW-Whitewater family, it is an absolute honor to recognize the achievements of all of our graduates here tonight. Everywhere I go in our local communities, somebody, when I say this is where I work, will pipe up and say, "Oh, I went there." This is a really special place. It has been the home to so many students since 1966 who began their academic journey here. They went on to get bachelor's, master's, and even doctorate degrees. Whether they started here with just a few prereqs or got their associate degree, they work all throughout our communities. They started on an affordable pathway, and they now impact all of our lives wherever they work. As we continue tonight's ceremony, I want to take a moment to acknowledge our commencement presenters, speakers, and award winners, as well as members of our cabinet leadership, and ask that they stand as their name is called, but please hold your applause until everybody's introductions have been made. On the platform party, Corey King, Chancellor, Interim Provost and Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs, Robin Fox, that's all. There are some people in the audience as well. Amy Thurner, Outstanding Alumni Recipient. Gloria Lara, our student speaker. Jane Gilbertson, our commencement speaker. And there are members of our Chancellor's Cabinet in the audience tonight. Jackie Briggs, the Assistant Vice Chancellor for Enrollment and Retention. Katie Kuznasik, the Vice Chancellor for University Relations and President of the UW-Whitewater Foundation. And Kristen Philhauer, Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs. Thank you. Tonight is about more than a diploma. We are celebrating years of hard work and reaching goals. We honor the multitude of successes and failures that have led to this moment, as well as the anticipation of what comes next. After all, we call this a commencement, which really means it's only the beginning. We know that our ceremony is special for all of our students. College degrees are life-changing. This is especially true for so many of our students who are the first in their families to attend college. In fact, over half of our students are the first in their families to attend college, and you have done something that nobody else in your family has done. Whether you come from a long history of people who have attended college or you're the first, we congratulate you. We know that you had to sacrifice a lot to be here. It took tenacity and hard work to make it to this night. Though you leave us today, we know that you have the foundation to succeed. At UW-Whitewater at Rock County, we pride ourselves on rigorous academic programs in which faculty and staff push you to achieve new levels of success and to actively learn both in and outside of the classroom. Several of our graduates have excelled at that challenge, and I would like to call special attention to them. So those of you who have earned honors, high honors, and highest honors at this time, if you have a cumulative GPA of 3.4 and above, will you please rise as you are able? Stand up, stand up. Please congratulate them with your applause. Well done. You may be seated. Congratulations. To all of our graduates, whether you're moving on to a baccalaureate program, to the workforce, or whatever your next step is, we wish you the best. Now, Will the faculty and staff in attendance on stage or in the house please rise as you are able? You're here, I know you're here. Our faculty and staff are passionate teachers, mentors, coaches, and counselors who care deeply about their students. They challenge, encourage, nurture, and support students along their college journey and beyond. Graduates, I ask you to stand as you're able, and with your applause, please acknowledge your mentors' hard work and dedication. Stand up. Thank them. All right, graduates, stay standing, stay standing. I know, I told you we were gonna stand up, sit down, fight, fight, fight. Remember, we had that in rehearsal. Okay, faculty, staff can sit. Now, graduates, I know you have a number of loved ones in the audience who are here to support you. Would you please turn around and with your applause, thank them for the support they have given you on your journey. All right, you may be seated. As a graduate of UW-Whitewater at Rock County, you have the tools, the experience, and the skills to positively impact the community, your state, really the whole world. It is now time for us to introduce an outstanding alumni. Every year we take a moment to honor one person whose drive for excellence is remarkable and whose work has made a difference in our community. Our reputation as an institution of integrity is built on the words and deeds of our alumni, people who truly symbolize the values that are central to this college and who make wonderful contributions to their professions and communities. This year's honoree is Amy Thurner, who attended UROC in 1998. She is the executive director of the Greater Beloit Chamber of Commerce, where she has worked for 23 years. Amy is passionate about serving her community as a member of numerous boards and committees, including the Board of Directors for Visit Beloit, the United Way, Black Hawk Region, the Greater Beloit Economic Development Corporation, and several of its subcommittees. She has served on advisory boards for Career Tech, Rock County Leadership Development Academy, Beloit Literacy for Life, and even UROC's Dean's Advisory Board. As a Janesville resident, Amy lives with her husband Nathan and 3 children, Emma, William, and Lillian. Amy embodies what it means to be an outstanding alum, with her commitment to make Rock County a better place to live, work, and play. Please join me in congratulating Amy Thurner.
Good evening. Good evening, university leadership, faculty, proud families, and most importantly, the graduating class of 2025. I am deeply honored to accept the Outstanding Alumni Award for UW-Rock County Whitewater. My journey at UROC began in 1998 after deciding that a 4-year college degree was not for me. Like many of you, my path looked a little different. My path brought me back home to continue my schooling and start my life with my husband, Nate. This led to my career at the Greater Beloit Chamber of Commerce, 23 years of marriage, and 3 amazing children, one of which goes to this campus right now. I have had the opportunity to serve on the Dean's Advisory Board for this campus and have served alongside several of your dedicated faculty and staff on community committees and initiatives. I am continuously impressed by the innovation of this campus and the deep commitment its leadership has to student success, community impact, and shaping the next generation of leaders. Receiving this award at your commencement is especially meaningful because I see in all of you the same drive, curiosity, and potential that shaped my own journey here years ago. To the class of 2025, your story is just beginning. Whether your next step is transferring, starting a career, or taking a well-earned breath, know that you are not alone. You are part of a powerful network of alumni who believe in you and are cheering you on. Thank you again for this incredible honor, and congratulations.
Congratulations, Amy. Faculty and staff at UW-Whitewater at Rock County dedicate their lives to the education of beginning college students. These are the people who provide students with an exceptional start toward a bachelor's degree. Every year, we recognize these teaching accomplishments by announcing winners of the Excellence in Teaching Award. I'd like to ask this year's recipients, Ana Moisadas Duran and Dr. George Jones, to come forward, please. The Rock Student Government Association facilitates the annual Excellence in Teaching Awards. Students have an opportunity to nominate a teacher they feel deserves recognition, and SGA then reviews the nominations and selects the winners. We thank this year's award winners for their commitment to excellence in teaching, the students at Rock Campus, and the Rock Campus community. It was a difficult process because everyone nominated was deserving. However, tonight we are proud to honor two outstanding instructors. The faculty winner is Professor George Jones. Yay. Students indicated that he has mastered his material and has a passion for teaching. He's understanding, very helpful, knows how to keep the class's attention, and makes us smile every time. Dr. Jones is known for a unique pedagogical approach, which is both animated and designed to ensure students truly engage with and understand the material. Congratulations. Our academic staff winner is Ana Moisadas Duran. Is that close? Ana stepped in this fall as an emergency mid-semester hire, which makes it remarkable that she has been nominated tonight. She is a phenomenal art instructor, ensuring that students receive one-on-one mentoring and instruction to help them through problems. A nominee wrote, "It's clear that she cares deeply about how we feel about our art assignments and strives to make sure we are learning as well as persevering through many challenges." If you take a walk through the art gallery upstairs, you will see the amazing work of students this semester that indicates what a wonderful addition Ana has been. Congratulations to George and Ana.
Hello, I'm Kelly Jensen, Assistant Professor of Communication, and I'm honored to introduce this year's student speaker. Gloria Lara is a returning student passionately furthering her education to become a licensed clinician. She is interested in developing a nonprofit community-based program to support first-generation daughters of immigrants. A proud mother of 3 girls, Gloria enjoys spending her free time playing pickleball, hiking, biking, and diving into a good book, especially theological works and historical fiction. Born and raised in Orange County, California, she graduated from high school in Dallas and began her higher education journey at the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater at Rock County. She currently lives in Delavan, Wisconsin, but is preparing to relocate to Katy, Texas to complete a bachelor's degree at the University of Houston-Clear Lake, with plans to pursue a dual master's degree in social work and public health in the future. Please help me welcome Gloria Lara.
Hello and welcome to everybody. I am honored to stand before you today, and I want to thank the students, faculty, and families who made all of this possible. Before we go further, let's take a moment and let this sink in. This right here is what perseverance, sacrifice, resilience, and heart look like. We made it. We did it. As a returning student, a mother to 3 girls, a wife to a community leader, and the first daughter of immigrant parents, coming back to school was daunting. I felt the weight on my shoulders. You see, from a young age, I understood that education was a privilege and a responsibility as well. I knew sooner or later I had to return and pursue my education. At UW-Rock, I met and befriended many people who are all unique and interesting from different walks of life. I also soon discovered that returning would not be as overwhelming as I anticipated. I found I was not alone, thanks to the community that rallied around me to offer support. Everyone had a part in serving, whether it was the staff or faculty that met me where I was, helping me to navigate and learn how the school system operates. I finally understood why I had so many advisors throughout the years. Thank you for helping me along the way and being patient with me through the process. To all my classmates that I bonded with as we studied to get ready for biology exams, thanks for listening to all my quirky stories as I integrated learning material into my neurons. To all the tutors who didn't mind explaining the concept in different ways and as many times to understand and connect those synapses. To my daughter for being my unofficial study partner and test audience. Thank you, you're the best. Graduates, I invite you to take a look around you. Everybody here today is part of the process. We didn't walk this path alone. We had parents, siblings, spouses, sons, daughters, family, friends, mentors, and educators. Yes, we have earned this degree, and we have witnesses. We have met the expectations to obtain the credentials, but this is more than a paper. It's a testament to our resilience, our determination, and the obstacles we've conquered along the way. This is how we persevere. This is how we grow in resilience in community. This stage doesn't belong to me alone. It's held up by my parents' dreams, the values they instilled in me, and my family's love and laughter, the faith my friends had in me, and the unwavering support of my community. The professors who showed up with integrity, passion, and commitment to teaching, and the grace of God who carried me through it all. What has held you up? Celebrate it. So here is a thank you to all of you who walked this path with us today. Let us celebrate the journey that brought us here and the one that is just beginning. Congratulations, class of 2025.
Thank you very, very much, Gloria, for sharing your insights with all of us, and congratulations to our graduates. Hello, everyone. I am Corey King, Chancellor here at the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater. Specifically honored to be here tonight on our Rock County campus, as better known, URock. It is my honor to introduce our commencement speaker, Jane Gilbertson. Jane Blaine Gilbertson is Executive Chair and sole owner of the 45 Blaine's Farm and Fleet stores throughout Wisconsin, Illinois, Iowa, and Michigan, and Blaine Supply headquarters here in Janesville. The family-owned companies were founded in 1955 and currently employs more than 5,000 associates. Wow, what an economic impact. Jane is a Janesville native. She received her Bachelor's of Science in Retailing from Miami University of Ohio. Upon graduation, she joined Macy's as a buyer. She saw the light in 1985 and returned back to Blaine's as a buyer for the company. After the passing of the company's founder, her uncle Claude, and her father Bert, Jane and her brother Robert purchased the remaining portions of the company and became owners in 1998. In 2014, Jane purchased her brother's half of the business and became CEO, president, and sole owner. In September 2024, she became executive chair of the board. Jane has been married to Mick Gilbertson, an architect, for nearly 39 years. Both of their children, Sarah and Nicole, are working for the family business. Her civic involvement is immense and includes leadership positions on boards, committees, ranging from economic development to education to healthcare and to the arts. Jane's recognitions include 4 Janesville's Lifetime Achievement Award, YWCA Rock County's Women of Distinction and Corporate Citizenship Award, and the Janesville Gazette's list of the 50 who matter. Please join me in welcoming to the podium Jane Blaine Gilbertson.
Good evening, graduating class of 2025. I'm so honored to have been asked to share this very special celebration with you, your families, and all those who supported you and encouraged you through this journey. Thank you, Dean Clausen and Chancellor King, for your kind invitation. It is really a privilege to be here. I view this as a great responsibility, with the hope that I can share something important from my life's journey that will touch you in even the smallest way. No pressure. Admittedly, it's been over 40 years since my college graduation, and to be honest, I don't remember our commencement speaker's message. This could mean that maybe it didn't really resonate with me at the time, or I didn't have the maturity to really hear the message that was intended to prepare me for the next stage of my life, or quite possibly, it's because I'm getting old and I just can't remember. In any case, I want you to know that I'm sincere when I can tell you that I want to offer something that might actually make a difference in all your lives. That's a big goal. So maybe a more realistic goal for me is to tell you a story or two from my journey so far that might strike a chord with you now, or it might be something you can draw upon as you make your next round of choices for the future. I know as a graduate with your associate's degrees, today many of you will be moving on to complete your additional degrees elsewhere. So the working world may be a few years off for some of you. But whatever your next steps are, as you leave tonight with this proof of academic success, literally in your hands, realize the bar has just been raised. I do remember what that felt like the day I graduated. So let me take you back to that point in my life. Picture me as a young woman. Now come on, humor me. I know it was a long time ago. But I too was filled with pride and excitement on my own graduation day. I too, like many of you, was the first generation of my family to graduate from college. But I also remember some fear, coming from the knowledge that when I walked out with that new diploma in my hand, I would be tested in new ways. And like all of you, I didn't want to disappoint. For me, the first test actually came before I graduated, when I told my parents that I would not be returning to the family business after graduation. Even though I'd grown up working in the family business, I had made the choice not to return after graduation and instead go to work for a large retail organization if that was possible. When I announced this to my parents, my dad was clearly disappointed, although he didn't say so. It was my mom who said, "Go, because you need to do this for yourself, and you can always come back." Then my dad reluctantly said, Go, because when you come back, you'll have even more to offer. And I said, Dad, you're not listening. I'm not coming back. And of course, I would end up coming back later. So right after graduation from Miami of Ohio, I moved to Kansas City to live alone for the first time and start my training with Macy's department stores to become a buyer. At the time, Macy's was renowned for their executive training program, so I felt very lucky to be hired by them. So off to prove myself, I was hungry to set aside the family stores that I had grown up with to learn what real department store retailing was all about. This also meant that I would move to a completely new city where I knew not a soul, much bigger than Janesville or Oxford, Ohio, where I'd gone to school. And I left my college successes and my friends behind to start all over again, just like some of you will be doing as well. As my training continued as an assistant buyer, I was given more responsibility, and I was excited by that. But I also started to notice some of the common practices that felt wrong to me. Other young buyers in my training class were being routinely told to charge vendors for errors that they didn't commit. And these were not small dollar amounts that were being held from the vendors' invoices, but tens of thousands of dollars. And as I would come to know later in my career, that this was pretty common practice in the department store world at the time. It was actually known in the industry as their own profit center at our vendor partners' expense. And then one particular occasion, I too was told to do this. And I would do this to the small vendor who had been wonderful to work with and very unique product that had given Macy's a real advantage at the time in the marketplace. So imagine my surprise when I was instructed to erroneously deduct funds from their invoices that we owed them. I thought, is this really how we're going to treat people who had been so helpful and so honest with us? So I challenged my boss by saying, but the company didn't do anything wrong, and this would actually break this young company, this startup company. And I was told, just do it, Blaine. Well, I didn't do it. When my boss's boss found out, he was furious with me. I thought, okay, this is the day I call my parents and say I got fired today. Luckily, he liked me and had probably had grounds to fire me, but he didn't. I think he knew that I felt it was wrong. I still wondered if this had been some sort of a test for me at the time, but most likely I was just lucky that day. We didn't charge back the company, and I wasn't told to do this again. But as time went by, I started to spend more time watching how the associates in the organization were treated and how many of them treated each other. And overall, the approach was more, what have you done for me lately? Rather than the teams working together by mutual respect to build true partnerships and trust. How could people really enjoy their work if they had to watch their back all the time? I observed most leaders pitting associates against each other, almost celebrating mistakes publicly to make certain of an example for those associates. I luckily never experienced that treatment, but we all lived in fear that it was a pretty common practice. I think that they felt this kind of competition would breed performance, but what it created was an environment of distrust. I do believe that competition among associates done right can be fun and drive results, but competition that pits associates one against another can send a message that you must win at all costs, eroding the very organization you're striving to grow. I was naive of these business practices when I arrived, but thank goodness that my previous experience in my own family business had shown me that business didn't have to be done this way. I had grown up watching people enjoying working together to take care of their customers, their neighbors, as we call them, and enjoy growing the business together. When times were tough, people didn't look to throw others under the bus, but rather they worked together to find new ways to find success. Even if it took longer, success was always measured through the eyes of our neighbors and always viewed for the long term, not quick fixes. You can probably hear me, right? I'm usually pretty loud. Okay. Not quick fixes that might harm our reputation in the eyes of our associates, our vendors, or our neighbors. All right, I'll try again. Nope. I probably have a loud enough mouth that you can hear me, so I'll just keep going in the meantime, all right? My point in sharing this story is that I knew that what they were asking for was wrong. It felt wrong. It was wrong, factually and ethically. I knew that my father's business did not operate this way, and instead they prided themselves on working closely with vendor partners. They had difficult conversations. When we screwed up, they called us out and we had the conversation. When they screwed up, we called them out on that, and we went forward. The goal was always to be honest with each other, learn from it, and continue to build the business. So within 9 months of my college graduation and the start at Macy's, my mother passed away, very unexpectedly, and I was being pulled to return home. But honestly, I wasn't ready yet. I still had more to prove there, and while I'm sure I had once again disappointed my family by not coming home then, my family supported my decision. A few months passed, and I was told I was going to be promoted. I was proud of this accomplishment, and maybe it was the thing that I had just needed to hear before I could go back. Before I could consider to return to the family business, I needed to know that I had proved myself there. I never wanted to be thought of as the boss's daughter, and I felt now that I could return knowing that I had succeeded on my own and learned many useful things to bring back to the company. Ironically, the company that I'd chosen to work for, that I'd held in such high esteem right out of college, was becoming one I no longer respected. But I want to make clear, I'm still very grateful for the opportunity that Macy's gave me. I understand what it must have felt like for them to invest in me, develop me, promote me, and then to have me leave. But the kind of person that I felt it would take to continue to be successful there, I no longer desired. I knew it was time for me to go home. I know now that I went to Macy's to learn to be a great buyer and learned that lesson, but what I was really meant to learn in the time that I was there was how not to do business, how not to treat people, how quickly a lack of trust and mutual respect will erode the very business you're trying to build. This is true in business and true in all of our relationships. I believe I had to go through these experiences to learn the lessons for myself, to be reminded that there was a better way. I remain grateful for this learning, and I always draw upon these experiences to give me the strength to choose the right thing in my business decisions and in my life. I'm also very grateful what my mom had said to me before I left and before she passed away, which was, you need to go do this for yourself. You can always come back. That left the door open for me. And I appreciated that she was thoughtful enough to say, go learn your lessons, and you're always welcome at home. I returned to Blaine's to become the children's buyer and a gift word buyer, and I was very fortunate to be mentored by some wonderful people at Blaine's who were very focused on sharing the real power and purpose behind why we did what we did and the way that we did it. They always focused on doing the right thing for our neighbors, and that just always worked out. Hearing from our leaders who were not family, who had worked in many other companies and had come to Blaine's, speak about the differences they found working in our family business made me proud and made me want to protect this special place even more fiercely. These important foundations allowed me to progress many areas of business over my 40 years, eventually overseeing buying, merchandising, operations, marketing, and eventually CEO and president for the past 10 years. In the past 5 years, as I started to consider what was best for the company's future, I knew I had to begin on my most important work yet, to find the best successor to me and give them years to develop an understanding of why and how we do our business. I was in no rush, luckily, which allowed me the time to ensure that I found the right successor and spend that time together over the remaining 4 years. That intended successor to be able to make sure that he and I understood the perspectives of the business and again, why we do what we do. Not just learning the job, but why we do what we do. It allowed us and the rest of the company to see myself with Mark, who would end up being my successor, in the way that I did. To get comfortable with what would be our first non-family CEO and leader in the company's 70-year history. By the time we made this announcement to the whole company last June, people said, of course it should be Mark. They were happy for me to move on to my next phase of life as executive chair and owner in my rewirement, as I learned to call it, not retirement, rewirement. And they were ready to stand behind Mark, which was great. I don't know that I can truly express how grateful I am for our extended Blaine family of associates to show both of us such grace. Getting my succession right was deeply important to me because when my father died at the age of 77, as our president and sole leader, no succession plan existed. It could have gone really badly, but people pulled together as they always do, and they did the right thing for the people of the business. But I swore to my children that I would never leave them in that kind of a position or leave our company at risk. So this was another key lesson I learned in my career, to always be considering who is next to step up and prepare them regardless of the role. The business is so much bigger now. When I took over as CEO with 5,500 associates who depend on us for doing the right thing in 45 states, 3 distribution centers, over 4 states. But no matter how much we grow, our goal is still the same, based on those lessons I learned back at Macy's. As a family-owned business, we get to do things differently. We don't have to answer to Wall Street. We don't have to make short-sighted decisions to meet quarterly earnings calls. We get to make long-term decisions for the best investments for the company, just as my father and my uncle had done. Family businesses are complicated. If any of you are involved, you understand what I'm talking about. But when we all focus on taking care of the business, the people in the business, the work can be extremely gratifying. And well done, the family is taken care of too. And speaking of family, my husband of almost 39 years and I have 2 daughters, now both working in the business, and I couldn't be happier about that. But my husband and I worked hard at always trying to give them the choice of whether they joined the business or not. I remembered what the pressure had felt like, and I also remembered what a gift it was to be able to work outside for myself. They too had the gift of outside experiences before joining the company professionally, and it gives me great joy to see them working with such passion in our business and understanding the way we do our business. They, alongside Mark, our CEO, and the president, and our senior leadership team, will be the caretakers of our company for the future to ensure that we don't lose our way and we always stay true to our values. And I have great trust in all of them making the right decisions together. You will also be put in positions to make ethical decisions, some bigger than others. Maybe in your continuing education, like, do I use AI to assist me, but represent it as my own work? Or in your future careers, will I always choose the right thing to do, or will I falter if my job might be on the line? I can assure you there's more to risk if you cannot look at yourself in the mirror at the end of the day and still recognize that person in the mirror. This always applies to the kind of organization, or I should say this also applies to the kind of organizations you may decide to work for in the future. Will I work for a company that cuts safety corners and makes sketchy ethical choices? Or will I keep looking for a career in an organization that will have a sterling reputation and always takes the high road? Remember that organizations' reputations are a reflection of your own reputation. Do not compromise your reputation. You always have the choice, and I believe there are more good ones out there than bad. The bar is now higher for you with this advanced education. You will have more choices about your future. These choices will be around things like how you will choose to live it, how you will support your community, how you will do the work, how you will purposely build relationships with the people that you work with and in your lives. Remember, you can be tough as nails regarding your values and have a tender heart. They're not mutually exclusive. The kind heart and high values will be attractive to the right kind of people around you. Ask yourselves, where will I be surrounded by people who inspire me? How can I best share my time and my talents with others? And especially these days, please continue to be open to the ideas of others. Really hear them, seek to understand them, then push the best solution forward together. I feel that we see too many examples of this all around us that are only focused on winning, when winning is only defined as beating another. This smacks too closely of the days for me at Macy's, watching people be taught that you must win at all costs. You can do real harm, and you can lose yourself. Our brains choose to be either or decision makers, feeling sure that there's only one path forward, when actually compromising to consider more opportunities, broader perspectives, can create more innovation and more opportunities. Especially in your new careers, and frankly, I'd suggest in your lives, be open to learn from others. Hear other perspectives. When you think about winning, I challenge you to think about what does success look like versus winning. Success encompasses personal growth, fulfillment, and happiness, while winning can be more narrow and then is often focused in only defeating others. What is your end game? If this is more about doing purposeful work that brings you happiness and personal growth, keep those things in mind as you make your career and life decisions. I'm so excited for you. The bar is higher for you now, and with the new responsibility comes so many more opportunities. I'm proud of each of you for making good choices to get you to this place and time. Accept this responsibility to always try to do the right thing, and when you mess up, own it and move on. And you will not always get it right. Know that as well, right? But how you respond to those setbacks, how others see you responding to those setbacks really matters. And get comfortable with feeling uncomfortable. For example, when someone asks you to give a commencement speech, and you're uncomfortable because you've never done that before, then reframe it and think about what a joyous event you have been given the opportunity to participate in, and embrace it. Surround yourself with those who seek to do the right thing and will give you the grace that you need. Search for those or in your future school or organization that will give you strength, and those who will tell you what you need to hear, even if it's uncomfortable. With all that said, here's my bottom line. I can guarantee your best moments, your greatest successes in life will come by the way you work with others. I celebrate you. I wish you to find your purpose early in life, and I wish you great joy along the journey. Congratulations, class of 2025. Well done.
Thank you very much, Jane, for sharing your inspiring journey with us and for your continued leadership and community advocacy. You are definitely an impact to who we are, and we're grateful. I now ask our interim provost, Robin Fox, to come forward and present the candidates for degrees.
Graduates of the December class of 2024 and the classes of January, May, and August 2025, please rise as you are able. That means stand up. Chancellor King, the individuals standing before you have completed the requirements and are hereby recommended by the faculty for the Associate of Arts and Sciences degree. Graduates, at the direction of the marshals, please come forward to receive your degrees.
Yep, you just give the card and then you go. Gloria Lara will continue to pursue her Master of Social Work in Katy, Texas. She gives thanks to her spouse, parents, and all her friends who have believed in her. Go ahead. Alex Sievert will continue at UW-Whitewater for a Bachelor's in Fine Arts. She wishes to thank her parents, sibling, and her professors. Chloe Uchida will be entering the workforce and wishes to thank her family, friends, and professors for helping her to get here. Audrey Cook will be continuing her education at UW-Whitewater, majoring in special education. She wishes to thank her family and coworkers for making her who she is today, especially Clay and Anthony. She loves you. Ashley Lynn will be entering the radiology program at Black Hawk Tech. She wishes to thank her partner Jasmine and her family for their love and support. Sarah Kirkpatrick will be entering the nursing program at Edgewood College and wishes to thank her mom and dad for the continuous support, as well as the trio staff and Professor Ken Broski and Kim Earhart and Dan Zamzow and Kerry Rinn. There you go. Go ahead. Isabel Klaus will be entering the Edgewood Nursing School and wishes to thank her family and trio staff and teachers. Hannah Hernandez will be entering the Edgewood Nursing Program and wishes to thank her family for always supporting her and to thank some of the staff here for their time and dedication toward her education, including David McKay, Oliver McKay, Dr. Kim Earhart, Kim Kostka, Ken Broski, and Tracy Walters. Okay. Deidreana Newton will be entering the Edgewood Nursing Program and wishes to thank her mom, dad, Sarah, and Raya for their continuous support through school, and would also like to thank Dan Zamzow and Dr. Tom. Jada Arellano will be entering the Edgewood Nursing Program and wishes to thank her family who have supported this journey so far. Angelica Monat is currently at UW-Whitewater, majoring in social work and minoring in psychology, and wishes to thank her family, David McKay, and her cat. Noemi Batista is currently at UW-Whitewater main campus, majoring in communications and minoring in journalism. She wishes to thank her mom for being her biggest supporter. Go ahead. Rocio Castañeda Hernandez will be getting a bachelor's degree in psychology at UW-Whitewater and wishes to thank her best friends and family. All right. Wendy Castañeda Hernandez wants to study to be an ultrasound tech and wishes to thank her two best friends and her family. Marcela Ramirez Rojas is planning to go to the UW-Whitewater to finish her degree in accounting and wants to thank her family. Albuna Mehmeti will be going to UW-Whitewater for business management. She would like to thank her family and everyone who supported her. This graduation is the result of love and faith. She dedicates this milestone to her dad, whose love guides her still. Calista Castellanos is transferring to the UW-Whitewater main campus and wishes to thank her parents for all they have done for her. Okay. Elena Mata is going to Olivet Nazarene University to get a bachelor's degree in recording arts. She would like to thank her mother for being there to help and guide her through these 2 years. John Jones will be going to school at UW-Whitewater and wishes to thank everyone here. Hold up. Okay, now go. Jose Gomez Soto is planning to transfer to the main campus to continue his education and would like to thank his parents for all of the sacrifices that they have made. Michelle Abarca is planning to transfer to main campus to get her degree in social work and wishes to thank her mom and dad. Alexis Peralta Ruiz is transferring to UW-Madison and wishes to thank everyone for supporting her. Enrique Perez Zarate will be attending UW-Whitewater with a major in social work and a minor in Spanish. He wishes to thank his mom, dad, family, and friends that he made at this school. Yasmin Lucia Martinez wants to be a social worker and thanks her family, mom and brother, and God and the teachers. Robert Ryan is planning to go into the workforce and would like to thank his parents and family for all their support, Whitewater Crew, and Warhawk Catholic. Trent Kastner is going for a bachelor's in criminal justice at the University of Washington, Tacoma, and wishes to thank his professors, family, and friends. Lilith Ashmore will be continuing her studies, pursuing a bachelor's in communication with an emphasis on electronic media. She would like to thank her mother, Deborah Paul, her boyfriends, her amazing siblings, and all of the professors here at Rock County. Jack Toberman is transferring to UW-Madison for environmental science. He wishes to thank John Klinger, Noah Speeder, and Kelly Jensen. Chris Gillespie wishes to transfer to Maine Whitewater campus, and thanks to Eric Doms, Drs. Koska, Klubertans, Gorman, and Speeter. Okay. Samuel Richard is going to a dual major, computer science and mathematics at UWW, and wishes to thank his friends and family. Okay, go ahead. Darla Parlin wishes to thank her family for the support throughout the years. Hold up. Cassie, wait. Now go. Cassie Kniffel is currently attending UWW, majoring in social work, and wishes to thank the Daves, Dave and David, the TRIO office, and opportunities and support throughout the years. All right. Vivian Pecklow is continuing a Bachelor's of Social Work at Whitewater, and she wishes to thank her mom for showing her the way. Braden Dodd is going to enter the workforce and wishes to thank Daniel Dodd, Carly, and Julie. Danielle Hornick is continuing in anthropology and wishes to thank Tim, Ryan, Billy, Ethan, Caleb, Vicky, and Rob, and her work family. Dion Lewis will be proceeding into audio production and is grateful to his mom and the rest of his family that's here, and thanks them for helping him on his journey. Melanie Gonzalez is going to study in Chicago and start her own business. She wishes to thank her mom, dad, sister, her cats, and most importantly, God. Aram Al-Harashe will be going to the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater, majoring in healthcare management, and she wishes to thank her mom and dad and family. Molly Cullum will be getting a bachelor's in psychology at UW-Madison and wishes to thank her friends and family, and to Dr. Nate Maddox and Dr. Tracy Walters. Paige Letcher will be transferring to the main campus for health and human performance. She wishes to thank her mom and dad for encouraging her to get everything done even when she felt overwhelmed, and also wishes to thank all of her professors and friends for helping her get through some hard times. Hannah Hulina will be going to the UW-Platteville, double majoring in forensic investigation and chemistry. She would like to thank her parents, friends, and professors for all their support. Thank you. Roy Burry will be going to the main campus for his bachelor's. He wishes to thank his parents, his professors, especially Dr. Klubertans, Professor Rees, Professor Jensen, and Professor Hansen, and Professor Broski.
We're going to ask all of our graduates if you would please stand. Graduates. By the virtue of authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of the Universities of Wisconsin, I hereby confer upon you the associate degrees of Arts and Sciences with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto, which the diploma placed in your hands is evidence. You may now switch your tassels from right to left. Congratulations. I present to you the UW-Whitewater at Rock County December class of 2024 and classes of 2025. Congratulations. All right, you may be seated for one last time. Congratulations, you all are excited. You are excited, you're good. I get excited at these type of events. Guess what? You all can't do it because it'll hurt a little bit, but I'll do it for you. Graduates, we cannot wait to watch you soar. As you walk out of this ceremony today, I want you to remember that you are now and forever members of our campus family and a part of this university's legacy. One of my favorite sayings at this institution is, "We know you rock." I love that. I just love it. As we conclude our ceremony tonight, I would like to invite everyone to visit with us upstairs in the lobby, where there will be opportunity for personal introductions and photos. I ask our guests to remain seated until the recessional is complete, and I hereby declare the 2025 commencement ceremony to be closed. Thank you and congratulations.